Hi, you're watching Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our platforms. I am Mike Morales, back from Florida in our home offices here in San Antonio, Texas. That young man is
Jim Johnston in Youngstown, Ohio, suburb of Cleveland.
Is that a suburb of Cleveland? Go Browns!
Draft night. Could deplete my tequila stores quickly if it goes poorly.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to hurry up so that we don't interfere with the draft. Interesting thing for us, Jim, is that we're going to talk about tonight a really up and comer Don Suenos tequila. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's from their brochure, their POS material. The interesting thing for us is that we're kind of doing these reviews backwards. Due to some scheduling difficulties, we had already done the Añejo review first. I think it's aired already, but we are now back where we have finally gotten deliveries of the Blanco and the Reposado. Now, we fell all over ourselves with the Añejo. I thought it was a stellar Añejo. And their master distiller, Jose Aceves, has been around in the business for a long time. I've known him probably 15, 18 years. And we've talked on the phone a few times, and he's been very cordial, very nice man. Has his own business, he and his brother. That's what they do. They develop tequilas for investors as a private label, but they only deal in one particular distillery. They deal with it's himself and his brother, so they're really a partnership, very similar to one other one that I know of that uses that Don Pilar uses, and they're master distillers as well. They're chemical engineers, so these gentlemen do the same thing, and one of their new clients is Don Suenos. So when I heard about these guys, I got really, really excited because I know Jose, and I know that his palate is really good. He, cool news is not only Don Suenos is coming onto the market, but an old favorite of mine that we're hoping to have on our show one day, Comisario, it was dormant for 8, 9, 10 years, and it's coming back on the market, and that is also Jose Aceves' creation. So it's really nice to know that the staying power of this guy, and he's such a nice guy. You want these brands to be very successful. So thanks again to the Zimmermans, Komiko and Trey for bringing these to us. And this is let me get the. You've been on their website, haven't you?
Yes.
What do they tell us about where they're? Aren't they located in the? Oh, okay. What they call the Golden Triangle of tequila?
Yes, they're in Jalisco, and the El Dorado, the Golden Triangle, and the Fields End Factory, and really they lead with the reference to the Suenos family has been growing agave for over 40 years in the Jalisco Highlands.
Yeah, this is a NOM 1499, and it is imported by Don Suenos Imports out of Florida. And if I had any time, I would have gone down to Miami and probably visited those folks, but we did not have any time. But I'm kind of excited because this Blanco, if I remember correctly, and remember how Jose's name, I don't know if you can even see that, but his name and signature are on the back of this bottle. And I see you've attacked the bottle as well as I have.
Unfortunately, this is my first taste of this. I've been preaching the gospel of tequila to some of my friends, and they dipped into one of my selections before I even had a chance to. So for all of you folks out there, if you're going to preach the gospel of tequila, be specific about the one you're preaching about, so that they go straight to that one.
Yeah, well, that's okay though. It looks like they obviously liked it. I know that
they
I did. Look at check that out. Look at the shampoo bubbles on this sucker.
I was excited about it too. When I saw that they took to it, I figured, we got to be in for something decent here.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, and you've got, oh wow, your white, your Blanco has the white background, and mine.
Yes.
So that must be that's probably the newer logo, and I like that what they did. They improved it because it kind of loses its luster.
Right. It stands out a lot more here.
Right. Right. Exactly. So let's. I'm going to use my Stossel Jarrito tumbler that I've been using since last year, and I'm really enjoying using this glass because it doesn't take a whole lot. You're going to Glencairn way, huh?
I'm going to go the Glencairn way, which I typically do on the Blancos, and
it is pristine. It is really a clear.
Yeah, that is very very clean.
Now, according to the information that we have, there are no additives. They refuse to use any of the additives, even though it is allowable under the normas. And you and I have had some tequilas that have not abused that privilege. Some were quite enhanced beautifully, and others were just way over the top. So
right. Well,
these guys are really old school. Jose and his brother Cesar refuse to use anything other than what you're getting: plant and barrel and distillation.
Right.
Oh, that's fresh.
It's very fresh. It was this is probably one of the I don't want to call it potent, but it's a full nose on a Blanco. I mean,
yes.
It's very.
Yes. Now, even though it comes from the Golden Triangle, I gotta say I'm not getting the floweriness that I get from some other regions like a Totonilco. I'm getting some real. I'm getting lime zest. I'm getting baked agave because they're not baked or cooked. Probably is more like it. Their process is they use an autoclave, so there's no oven baking. They prefer to use autoclaves.
This definitely has the it's got a really nice but very, very evident citrus on it.
Yes. Yeah, would you say it's a lime zest or grapefruit?
I would say lime zest, and I would say even more. This is kind of like when you first squeeze a lime on top of a drink, the little combo of that oil and the juice. It's not acidity, but it's that little just fresh lime comes in with the, you squeeze the rind a little bit too, and you get that real powerful fresh lime smell the minute you squeeze it. But it's nice. It's very it's a clean scent on it.
It is. It's very clean. I love that. Now that it's opened up a little bit more, I've got the legs and tears just beautifully. They don't. It's not like a super clingy tear. It's just very natural looking.
It has a little bit, maybe a little bit of like pepper on the end, just because of the strength of that baked agave and the lime together.
Okay, well, let's see what it tastes like. Let's just dive in here.
Wow.
More of the citrus on the intake.
Right.
Nice finish though. You feel that warm fuzzy?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I get a really just a faint hint of I don't even know how to describe it. It's the kind of barrel age taste of wood that you get with a reposado or an añejo, but it's not right up front, it's just a hint of it, which makes me think that this really, the alcohol content on this when it went in, I don't know. I don't know where that flavor's coming from. It might be the earthiness behind the baked
That
agave that
might
just
be
tastes
it.
like the ground.
Yeah, maybe you're getting a little bit of the wet cement that people have talked about, and I've smelled it in very very few tequilas in my lifetime. I've actually tasted it and smelled it more in mezcals. It's much more prominent in certain mezcals, but so maybe what you're getting is a little bit of the minerality that
Yeah.
uh, uh, because obviously it's not aged in barrels, so you can't
Right,
really
right,
get.
and that's why I
You're
say
getting some
it's not an añejo flavor because it's not coming from wood, but it's got that in a barrel with a virgin wood taste to it, and the more I sip this here and kind of let it develop, it's almost more of a terroir now than it is the wood, but
okay.
it's got a
Like a green wood, maybe. Okay, well maybe what this is the agave, the freshness of the agave much more amplified.
right, right,
Um,
and probably the soil quality and the
I would say
combination of
so.
soil quality and the freshness of the agave gives it an idea that this kind of has that very mineral and woodsy kind of terroir flavor that comes through, but it's very
It's beefy.
subtle. Yeah, I catch it in there, and
Yeah,
it's not like you're eating the dirt, but it's where it came from.
right,
It came from the ground.
right. It's much more natural. The I think we know that the distillation is, of course, is double distilled, once in copper, and then finished in stainless steel. And it could be that maybe the copper is imparting some of that, because I know that, for instance, some of our favorite tequilas are distilled in copper pot stills. You got El Tesoro, you got Tapatio. Um, you know, um, the fermentation on this one is in stainless steel vats. So it's really, you know, they're trying, the master distillers, Jose Aceves, are trying to eliminate anything that might um, influence the
Right.
final flavor profile, except the plant, the distillation, and the maker of the hand of the maker. And
Honestly, I think they've captured something where much more of the plant expresses itself in the taste.
I
I,
agree.
and I
I
don't want to
agree.
call it wood. That was my first idea, but it's just sort of like if you let that agave sit out on a warm day in the soil and let the sun bake down on it. If you crack that thing open, I think that first vibrant freshness of pure plant expression is what I'm tasting in here, because I've not had a Blanco that's really got a lot of the terroir in it as much as I can taste it here.
Wow, that's a testament to where they get their, where they got this, their
Right.
plants, where they're growing them. They tell us, of course, the golden triangle of tequila, which would be that area in the highlands, and they've been doing it for what? What do they say? 40 years they've been growing tequila. They've been
40,
growing
40 for over 43 years.
43 years. So this
Yeah.
whole Dos Sueños family, Jose and the family, and whoever their growers are, the people that take care of the fields, the huertas, are doing a stellar job. It's double distilled, 80 proof. What did is this not the well? Judging from your bottle, your friends really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I mean, I tried to start them off with stuff. They're whiskey drinkers. We said, let's go for the añejo and get you guys sipping on some of that. They must have tasted this, and it's very smooth. It's got just a very subtle, for me, a very subtle sweetness right up front with the citrus.
Hmm.
So it's not a bitter citrus on it. It's a little bit of a sweet citrus, and then that really just full agave expression, but with a lot more of the the plant on it than anything I've tasted in a long time.
Yeah, I'm not getting the pepper explosion that I'm used to getting from some of the other really well-crafted tequilas. The the intake is exactly what Jim said. It's sweet on the intake. Um, it's got good structure on your palate, but you know there's a point in the middle where it coats the palate, but not in a bad way. It's all agave, it's all tequila, and then the finish is medium to long. It's got a nice long finish. So I don't know what they're doing in the middle. I didn't get the burst of pepper that I'm used to getting from that region. So they're really doing something interesting to the process. And like you said, you're getting more. It leans toward more of the fruit itself and the terroir, as opposed to the pepper and the minerality that may or may not exist in that area. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm kind of getting that as I'm thinking about the process and where this flavor comes from. You know, obviously what happens after the agave is harvested. But imagine what that tastes like the minute you cut into it and get that expression of just juice from a plant that's been sitting in the ground for as long as it has, minus the process that leads to a bottle of tequila. They've somehow managed to get a little bit of what I imagine that to be in here in a way that gives you... There are a lot of things that taste like the ground or taste like the land that taste great, and I think they've really done a good job here of capturing it.
Yeah, I do too. To be fair, when you hack into a piña, there's very little juice so much as there's sap. You know,
right, but I mean, just that little bit of moisture to get out of there and just taste.
Well, you got to be careful with that too, because uncooked it burns. You know, so there's a lively. There's a liveliness. It's almost like you're tasting what you smell when you just hack into it, and that's hard to capture. It really is hard to. As you said earlier, I couldn't have said it better. That the tequila is really presenting the characteristics of the plant more so than some of the other ones that we have had that are just as good. But it's a different style. You're talking about a whole different. You're talking night and day, and you really don't know until you break it down like this.
Right. And I've never tasted a freshly cut piña, but
yeah, I don't want to.
My thought is, when you crack open an aloe plant and you smell it, and then you smell some soap that has aloe in it, and you get the sense that it's there, but you know it's been changed. I feel the same way. I get the sense that it's there. I know it's gone through another process, but I feel like the freshness of this can only be expressed by maybe you crack something open, you take a nice smell, a whiff of it, and it's everything that's gone into it for 8 to 10 years, and everything that's about to come out of it too.
Yeah, well, hey, I don't know about you, but I've got to nominate this Brand of Promise nominee right here.
I think so too. I really think that this is I bet this is a tequila you could put up with some wine folks that would really understand the value of where the ingredients come from and how the things are raised that make it taste the way it does, because I'm really impressed by this.
I am too. It's been a long time since I've had a tequila from Jose Aceves, but and the funny thing was, I've had maybe one bottle of another tequila he produced and one sample of the other tequila, and this was 8, maybe almost 10 years ago at shows like one that was actually sent to me when I was still living in New Mexico, and this is I would say about 8 years ago, and the other one was a show that I attended in Las Vegas about 10 years ago. And those two samples really perked me up, and I said, boy, I got to keep an eye on this guy, and stellar, really a stellar effort from Jose Aceves and the folks at Don Suenos. I love this tequila. I think there's some big thing. It looks like it just came out of nowhere. And oh, by the way, it's an award winner.
That's right.
The results just came out not too long ago of the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, and it won, I believe, silver medals for the Blanco and the Repo, I think.
Yes.
Or the Añejo. So this is no slouch, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
This may be a Johnny on the spot, but it's coming from some pedigree. Somebody is paying a lot of attention, and it's good to see. It's good to see that new young brand owners are really caring about what goes into the bottle. I'm so
And
impressed.
I think they had a long conversation with the growers too. I think there was a lot of communication about the product coming out of the field and the product going into the bottle and how that was supposed to be expressed, and I think they nailed it. So
Yep, they did. Congratulations to Don Suenos, Brand of Promise nominee in that Blanco category. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. An award winner now, so watch out for it in your stores. I'm Mike Morales. That's our take on Don Suenos Blanco, but stick with us because we've got the Reposado coming up next. I'm here in San Antonio. That young man is in Youngstown, Ohio. He is
Jim Johnston.
And Jim is waiting anxiously for the draft tonight for the Cleveland Browns draft.
The Cleveland Browns draft.
I'm a Cleveland Indians fan, so I kind of lean toward I lean toward. We're in the middle of this is a glorious time of the year. You get the football draft, you get the basketball playoffs, and you're in the middle of the beginning of the baseball season. So you couldn't ask for better, unless of course your hockey team was involved in the playoffs, but.
We're Pittsburgh fans here, so
There
we're Pittsburgh Penguins fans here. So we got the best of everything in April and May.
Oh my God! Yeah, you think oh my gosh! Well, what can I tell you? We're gonna keep, and the best part is we got some of the best tequila to talk about. So
That's right.
it's a hat trick all the way around. Whatever you do, though, follow us on all of our platforms. Subscribe down below if you're watching us on YouTube. But whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.
I'm Mike Morales. I'm CEO of Tequila Aficionado Media. And I just wanted to thank you for watching Sipping Off the Cuff. We love doing these reviews for you. Now, if you're an Agave Spirits brand owner and you're watching this, there are 3 things that I'd like to talk to you about. Number 1, if you'd like us to review your Agave Spirit on Sipping Off the Cuff, just send me an email, mike@tequilaaficionado.com. It won't cost you a dime, and I promise you'll get an honest review. Number 2, if your brand has been nominated, past or present, as a brand of promise, we can help you promote your brand effectively and affordably over on the tequila PR side of things. Just email me, mike@tequilapr.com. And number 3, if your brand has ever been a Brand of Promise nominee or a winner, you automatically qualify with us, or to go with us, on our next promotional tequila tour. So shoot me an email, tours@tequilaaficionado.com, and I'll send you all the details on our upcoming tequila tour. That's it. Thanks again for watching. Sip wisely.